Alright, welcome back everybody. More Monster Hunter Fridays, more ranking of shit. It's fantastic. We're back. We're doing it on Fridays. Again, I'm happy with the schedule stick. Because Lord knows I need some structure in my life. Got Ceph back. Ceph's doing it. Ceph's here, having a good time. No contract necessary, no obligations, no anything shady. Ceph, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Ceph's doing good.
Good. I'm here. And we're here to talk about a particularly frustrating monster this week.
Everybody's big favorite, the angriest pickle that ever did brine. We're talking about the Deviljho. Now, Deviljho is very interesting in terms of what he's supposed to be. What I interpret that myself is he's one of those that's supposed to be a boss fight. Like, I know a lot of these monsters are seen as like it's just all boss monster, but this one's supposed to be a boss. Like, this guy is going ham on your ass 24/7, not letting up. This guy's an actual menace to the ecosystem and a threat to society. Like, and the frustrating thing, yeah, is because he's constantly getting in on the hunts, which is why that's the inspiration I had for when I made that one time when I uploaded 2 in one day, which I want to do that again at some point. I just gotta work it out in the schedule. But I think he's supposed to just be one of those monsters that's just there as a challenge, a true fight. One of the real like nitty gritty kind of things. Like, you've been beaten up on chumps, and now it's time to see who's the big daddy of the woods kind of deal. And I'd say, I don't know, to me that's what I think he's supposed to be. And I think he does that job pretty well, considering it takes a good few attempts to take down a Deviljho. And, I mean, even then, like, you could get timed out. Even if you're wearing
Oh yeah.
good gear and you've got the skill and the moves, you could just get timed out because this guy's a big health pool. But, the craziest thing to me is the dragon element this guy has. Like, to me, what that tells me is that, and this is a theory here, but Deviljho eats everything. That's his whole thing. He's eating everything. But the fact that he's got dragon elemented breath attacks means he's probably taking down and eating elders at some point, which we've seen before. That's not a big, like, I mean, it's a grand feat. Don't get me wrong. Like, we see like Rajang hunt down Kieran all the time. Like, Rajang and Deviljho are elder level threats at least. But in terms of being
They're,
dragons, they're not. But
yeah, they're that step below elders, but they can still fuck them up in some cases. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure World even has some turf wars between Double Joe and the elders. Usually the pickle loses, but he does fuck him up the elders.
he does his
It's quite a bit.
damnedest. That's what I gotta say about him. He's doing his best. But tell us of your frustrations of the Devil Show.
Uh, God forbid you are fighting a monster that loses in a turf war to Devil Joe. Because not only will Devil Joe time you out in his own hunts, he will time you out in other hunts as well if you get unlucky. Because this motherfucker just makes the other monsters run away constantly. And if you do not immediately dung pod him, or at least in World, good fucking luck. Especially if it's a monster that's already a pain in the ass to hit, like fucking the Legianas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think I've actually lost some fights because of Devil Show before. Because I'd be like on my last feint, and he would just come up out of nowhere and bust my ass in half and just end it. And I'm just sitting there like, you son of a bitch. How could you do this to me? Why? Why are you like this? And the moment you finally take one down, like, it's a big, like, sense of accomplishment. Like, I just took down the Devil Show. And then you get back to camp and you're like, oh, I have to do that 3 times again just for one armor piece. And that's the biggest thing that hurts. He's one of those monsters that's like, it's so worth it, but I really don't want to do it. But I would say he does
Yeah,
a
because he
pretty good
gives
job.
because his weapons give pretty good like stats overall. It's just a matter of like grinding them out. Jeez, it's not fun.
No, it's not. And you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get some friends to help me. It'll make it. No. That just makes it worse. It makes it so much worse.
Unless you can consistently knock him out.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Bring a sticky build. Somebody, please, God, bring a sticky build. That's all you can do. That's the only hope you have, and it's good because you can hit him in the head consistently with a gun. The problem, he's not one of those monsters where you're trying to hit them constantly and they're just duck and dodge like Toby or Nargacuga. You can actually hit Deviljho's head really easily with bow guns. So Deviljho first shows up in Try, actually, I'm pretty sure. So he is one of the first brute wyverns to exist. He's not the first, that would be Bareth, but he is one of the first. And honestly, like, I never got a chance to fight him in Try, but I'm pretty sure I probably would have shit bricks if I saw something looking like that. Like, you come just out of Gen 2 with Dose, Freedom Unite, all the Freedom 2, all that shit. You come out of that, and all of a sudden, Bareth was a big deal. Like, that was like, oh, that actually looks like a dinosaur kind of deal. But then you see something looking like Deviljho, and you will immediately shit your pants. Like, that thing is terrifying beyond belief, and there's no rhyme or reason for why it's got so much teeth, so many spikes and shit. It's just a garbage disposal on legs. But, in terms of just overall design, even it's I don't know. I don't know. What do you think of the design on Deviljho? Like,
honestly, I don't really have any comments on the design. I will say this though. I just remembered this. I love how Deviljho, especially his theme in World, that sense of just like, oh god fucking damn it. Because it overrides every other monster theme.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is his theme will overshadow everyone else's. So he's the big dog. He's come for
him
you.
Him and fucking Basil.
Oh my god, Basil.
Him and fucking Basil. Both of those.
I can't wait to get to Basil.
The fucking carpet bomber and Deviljho, their themes override literally everyone else's in the world. If I'm not mistaken.
I love watching their turf war. I love it. I love watching Basil get his shit rocked and then Deviljho getting blown up.
Mutually assured destruction, motherfucker.
Oh man, but I don't know. I think Deviljho does a really good job at being a boss. Like, he's got the menacing factors. He's got the size advantage. He's got the color scheme, which green is just a really cool color to see, because we don't see a lot of green monsters to my knowledge. Like, I know we see like in the newer ones we see a lot more, but in the older ones green wasn't a big thing. Like, there was what was it? Emerald Kangalawa was kind of greenish.
I mean, there's Puke.
Yeah, but Puke's in the new ones. I'm talking before like Deviljho even came in. Like, I think he was one of the first like greenish monsters. Green Plesioth. That's another one. Green Plesioth. But just off the top of my head, anyway. That's But I know somebody's probably gonna leave a comment like "Moss Wine, am I a joke to you?" kind of shit. But yeah, no. I just the teeth, it's the face of the Deviljho is crazy. And one of my biggest complaints is that, like, as a hunting horn player, is I love it when the horn will either sound like the monster's roar or it will sound like the monster's theme. But Deviljho's horn just sounds like you've took one of those vacuum cleaner tubes and just started waving it around in the air, just like, I don't know why it sounds like that. I hate it. I hate that sound, but I don't know. In terms of the fight, though, it fucking irritates me because he's just, when he gets mad, it's just constant breath spam.
Oh yeah.
All he fucking does in the newer games is just, oh, you ran 2 feet in front of me? Guess what? We're gonna fucking breathe grass.
No. And one thing I will give is that Devil. One thing I will say that's the most arguably frustrating thing about Deviljho. If like
Oh, my eyes.
I feel so bad for you if you're not running some kind of ranged build.
Yeah.
Because either you're gonna get Dragon Element on you, or you're just gonna suffer because Deviljho is an absolute menace in close quarters. Like, if you're not able to constantly kite him back, or kite around him, like, I would say that's the lesson you learn with Deviljho. Dealing with monsters that you have to kite, or just suffer because of it.
One of the biggest things for me when I was on Deviljho is because at the time when he first shows up, I didn't have a gun. So I was up in there, like, I think I had a hammer. But even with having that big-ass hammer, I was like, oh no, I gotta square up on this thing. Like, he looks menacing. Like, he actually makes me nervous to fight up against him when I first saw him. And, like, with a gun, even then it would be terrifying because he'd be constantly running at you. But yeah, no, I think it's wonderful that he inspires a bit of, like, anxiety and fear into people because it's like he's supposed to. He's a freak. He's the world eater. He's just out here. He was doing Nergigante's shit before Nergigante even existed. He was going around eating every fucking thing. In terms of, I think he's been in every generation ever since his release. I think he was in the 3rd, and 4th, and 5th. I know he's in 5th for sure because he does, that's World. But yeah, I think he's been in every single gen since then. So I don't see a reason why he wouldn't come back to Wilds.
Yeah, no, I feel like Deviljho is too iconic of a monster to not come back in Wilds. Honestly, this your comments, just like the World Eater, like, it just immediately made me think of, like, Deviljho is just Monster Hunter's version of the Tarrasque from D&D.
Yeah, he kind of fucking is.
Like a baby version, but still.
He kind of is, yeah. That's crazy. Oh, that's actually kind of, that's even more terrifying. But I think he should come back to Wild. I think he should. I think they should bring him in Gen 6. I don't see a reason why not. Like, he's one of the ones that I really hope they kind of do because it's like his shit. He's iconic. Yeah, like you said. Like, he's one of those that you can't really see it being Monster Hunter without him showing up.
Let's see. Oh, that's impressive. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna look up the popularity polls for the monsters. Where does Deviljho, the normal version, ranks at number 40? This does include variants and subspecies.
So I guess Savage is in there too, huh?
Savage is number 42.
Huh. 40. Well, I mean, that's not bad when you consider there's over 200 of these guys.
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid. I still think it's funny, though. We were talking about Nergigante. According to this popularity poll, at least, like, the one that's on the website for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Nergigante is number 2.
Isn't Zinogre number 1?
Zinogre is number 1.
I still don't agree with that fully myself, but...
Lagiacrus is number 3.
Well, as he should be. As he should be. He's the face of the 3rd game.
How in the fuck is Velkhana number 6?
Yeah, what? I'm sorry. Who voted for Velkhana?
no shame to the people who like voted for this fucker, but how is like Fatalis and Elatrion lower?
What? Okay, listen. If you voted for Valkana, that's fine. You can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. But we can all agree that Fatalis and Elatrion should have been higher than Valkana in every sense of the word.
Okay, back on topic to Deviljho. Yeah, no, I'd say despite like considering that this list goes all the way down to 228, that's a pretty high.
Yeah,
That's a pretty high ranking.
it's pretty decent. It's a solid ranking for sure.
Ha! Basil's number 52.
Hey, that's funny.
Eat shit, carpet bomber.
Well, no, it's funny because that people also refer to him as the B-52 bomber. So that's actually perfect. That's fucking great.
Oh, I love that.
That's amazing. The B-52 got 52nd. That brings joy to my crusty old heart. Let's see. So the only thing I can think of next to talk about, I mean, there isn't a lot to say about Deviljho other than, I mean, than what we've already said. You know, there's not a lot
Menace
of
to
rich
society.
history. I mean, there's, you know, with certain monsters, there's rich history. One thing I will say is he's one of the only. I'm gonna Google it right now just to verify my bold ass claims here. I forgot I have my hotkey for R, so when I typed in dragon when I typed in dragon element, I stopped the recording, so I'm starting it back up. Uh,
Do you need me to?
so we're recording. I'm just gonna mix the two videos. It'll be fine. But that was a big goof on my part. But yeah, I'm just making sure. I'm looking.
Okay, are you looking up like what gives dragon element?
I'm looking at the monsters who use dragon element.
Lao Shanlong,
Yeah.
Fatalis, Kushala,
See, that's the thing though, is these guys are on the
Emilios.
list, but I've never seen these guys actually using the element the way Deviljho does. Other than maybe I know White Fatalis, Stygian Zinogre.
Okay, but that's Stygians as an ogre. Like,
Right, but my thing is like look at this scorned Magnamalos on this list. I don't recall him ever doing that. I think
Xenojiva, Valstrax.
I think this list is also including Elemental Bull Drum. Go fuck yourself. I think this list is also including the monsters that can inflict Dragon Blight. But what I'm talking about is Deviljho breathes the element. The only other monster I can think of off the top of my head that uses the element of dragon like that is the White Fatalis, Stygian Zinogre, and Elatrion in its claw attacks. But
Weirdly enough, Ebony. Ebony Odogaron.
yeah, that's right. Ebony Odogaron, that's right.
Also, we cannot forget, like, even though it's not used necessarily as a breath attack, Valstrax does use dragon in its attacks. Like dragon element in its attacks with its wings.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So the only other
And
thing, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
there's like Xenojiva, but I don't think it actually ever applies Dragon Blight. It just kind of like
Yeah.
has a bunch of attacks that just.
It just shoots blue laser beams, just firing Kamea waves left and right.
True.
The only thing I can think of left is the board. Da, 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 da. Look at this shitty ass board I bought from Walmart. So, where on this gargantuan shit stain do we think we're gonna be placing Mr. Joe?
That's a rough one. I would have.
I don't want to put him personally any lower than A tier.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like Deviljho is unfortunately one of those cases where he doesn't have a specific job apart from fucking your shit up, and he does it too well to be put anywhere low or middle.
That's what I'm saying. Like this man, he started the whole Basil Geese shit of interrupting a fight and just beating the dog shit out of everybody because he just didn't care. So, ooh, and it being as powerful as he is, like he's an elder level threat for sure.
He's just below elder level. He's strong enough to fuck him up
Yeah.
if the elder dragon isn't necessarily at its full strength.
Like the only elder I could see him not being able to fuck up might be Teostra Lunastra. Like Kushala, I don't think he's gonna have a problem. Kieran,
like
obviously
Kushala
not.
Yeah, no, Kieran. We don't talk about the pathetic excuse that is Kieran.
Let me see. I don't even know what Deviljho's elemental weakness is off the top of my head, and that's kind of sad.
Hold it. Give me a sec. So you don't stop the recording again.
Oh no, I'm just clicking. I'm not typing anything this time, I promise. Let's see. He is weak to Dragon and Thunder. Actually, oddly enough, weak to Dragon. How about that? It's very weird. He has all the makings of an Elder. He just isn't an Elder. I mean, even I can't knock it for the design because I mean we have Elders who aren't dragons, which is crazy. But
Kieran,
Yamasukami is Shingarin counts as Carapacian. But yeah,
I just love this. I'm not sure if anyone knows what post I'm referring to, but there was a post from a new Monster Hunter player around the time that World came out, asking why you couldn't capture Kieran, and it's like, why the fuck can't you capture the horse?
Yeah, that's always irked me too. Because I mean, I understand you're not supposed to be able to capture an Elder Dragon because they're so powerful, but Kieran is just not one of them. If I can capture a Rajang, and I can't capture a Kieran, there's a problem.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a little odd, to say the least.
And it makes me wonder if Rajang gets its power from eating Kieran Horn. Is that a Rajang specific ability, or could anyone do that? Questions for the Rajang video or Kieran? No, we already did the Kieran video. Questions for the Rajang video. But yeah, I'm thinking like, let me see. Laggy's the leader in A, as of this moment. Where did I put Najarala? I think he's in B tier. Yeah, he's in B tier. So the only monster in A tier is Lagiacrus. And Laggy's currently leading A tier. I don't know. Lagiacrus has a job, and he does his job fantastically. I don't know if Deviljho does his job better than Laggy does his. I don't know. I would be willing to put Deviljho behind Laggy in A tier, but that's just me.
Honestly, that sounds like a pretty good spot.
Alright, so there we have it, and this list, as always, can and will change, because we never know when somebody might get a new revamp in a newer game, and if they might get shelved for good. But Deviljho, let's hope that's not one of them. So, Deviljho, let me bring the board a little bit closer for those of you at home. Right here in the A tier, got yourself a Lagiacrus. And we're going to put our Deviljho right there. Right next to Lagiacrus. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. So we got Bracky, Zinogre, Laggy, Deviljho, Kieran, Najarala, Yayankutku, Barris, Daimyo Hermitor, Kazu, Tobigadachi, Tatsukabra, and then way down here at the very last place on our list is Plesioth, because he's the worst monster to ever exist aside from Gypsaurus, and I can't wait till we get to the Gypsaurus video so I can unleash every bit of my rage. But
I think you're going to be upset about this.
just a wee little bit. What?
Normal Plesioth is number 91.
How? Who's last? Who is last?
It's actually a tie. I have no idea how to pronounce this name, so I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce the second part, of course, but yeah. It's a
Self?
tie between him and Steel Oregon.
I can see Jurgen being down there at the bottom, but Celtics, that sounds so The bug? Like Celtis the bug? It looks like it's a Neopteran. It looks like a bug.
Yeah.
I can see that too. I'm surprised Bulldrum didn't get the last place. That's like they took a fucking poll at some point of who hates the monster, like the most hated monster, and I think Bulldrum got it.
Boldrum is number 116 on the
Wow,
popularity poll.
that's crazy. Oh, I don't even want to know where Gypsarus is. I might actually have a stroke if I hear him being any higher than 100.
No, 145.
Okay, good. He needs to be lower, but that's fine. So yeah, I think that will about do
Purple
us.
Gypsarus is 221.
Good. Fuck purple Gypsarus. Fuck any Gypsarus. All of them fucking suck. But anyway, if anybody wants to hear my real feelings about them, go watch that video of where I had to fight them both in the same fucking hunt on Freedom Unite. But yeah, I think that'll about cover us for this Friday's edition of Monster Hunter Friday, Monster Hunter Ranking. Go follow me on wherever you find me. I don't remember where I'm even at anymore, but go find me somewhere and say hey, and pet the Fennec, and then say hi to the Fennec. Subscribe for the Fennec, if anything. Leave a like for it. Go watch Ceph's stuff whenever it comes up. It'll be awesome. You'll love it. More than this, I'll lose all my subscribers to the Ceph's channel. It'll be awesome. Subscribe for Ceph. Leave likes for Ceph. Comment for the Ceph. And yep. Ceph, you got anything you want to say?
No, honestly, I think that's all well and good.
Alrighty.
Y'all have a great rest of your night or day or whatever the fuck time it is for y'all.
Hell yeah. And come back next Friday when we cover someone. We haven't decided that yet. Well, we're gonna cover them. It'll happen right here on this channel for your very viewing pleasured eyes. So yeah.
With our luck, another bastard monster.
It's gonna be another piece of shit for the trash heap. I hope it's just I'm actually going to go by what the wheel says this time. I'm not gonna bicker, I'm not gonna argue, but I'm just praying it doesn't land on another Piscean Wyvern, or I'll actually throw my fucking computer. But we'll see y'all on the next Friday. Bye, everybody!
Bye.